everyone. This is a book, The Power of Now. It's something quite different than what I showed before, although I did some Skype casting on Skype with it, you know, in a group of people and talking about it, but I don't do that anymore. So, but I think this is a very good book, one of the best I ever read, I think. And I want you to know about it. Now, for some people, the author, his name is Eckardt Tolle, he said that some people said it's just blah, 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 and doesn't appeal to them at all. And in that case, he advised them not to read it, right? But this is a writer about spirituality. And the book is translated in 30 languages, if I understand well, or 30 countries, but I think it's 30 languages. So this is great. This is in English, as you can see, and I tell you what it is all about. I go now to the content, and I click on True. And then you see here the content, and then the first thing I want to go is to 13, and that is, you are not your mind. And that's what he said, you are not your mind. And that's essential from the whole book. I think the book, you can tell it in the first 20 pages what it is all about. And when he said you are not your mind, he means that he doesn't mean you are not what your mind is thinking. No, that isn't what he said. He said you are not your mind. And then he elaborates on it here with a story about a man who was sitting on a box in the street, but then I rather would go back and go to 15, like here, 15, and then he said the greatest obstacle. He said, what is the greatest obstacle to experience this reality? He is talking about that we think all the time. You know, a human being has about 30,000 thoughts a day. I can be wrong, but it's in the 10,000s. And most of the time we are not aware, but if you pay attention to it, you can get aware of it. You sort of go from one thing to another, and most are kind of useless. And so what he's saying, that we are addicted to thought. And he doesn't say thought is bad, but he said to identify yourself with thought, that is bad. And we shouldn't do that, because then you cannot see what is the reality. So that's what he's saying here. What is the greatest obstacle to... And then he said, not being able to stop thinking is a dreadful affliction. But we don't realize this because almost everybody is suffering from it, so it is considered normal. And I think he's right, you know. But it's very... In Western society, for instance, the philosopher Eckardt, he believes the opposite, and he found the most fundamental truth. He said, I think, therefore I am. And Tolle said he has in fact given expression to the most basic error to equate thinking with being. That's not the case, he said. You know, and other philosophers like Sartre, they pointed to that too. Now let me go to the next thing, and that's in 18, page 18, the lower part. Tolle said you can break with that in two different ways. First, he speaks about watching the thinker, so watching yourself to do that. And there's not enough time to explain this all right now. But the second thing is that he has two methods. Instead of watching the sinker, you can also create a gap in the mind stream, simply by directing the focus of your attention into the now. And then this is, in this way we draw consciousness away from the mind activity and create a gap of no mind in which you are highly alert but not thinking. This is the essence of meditation, and this is very interesting because when you Tolle is not a great believer on sitting with closed eyes for hours or hours, but he said breathing in and out is very important, and I understood that when you concentrate on breathing in and breathing out, that you are not identifying with your thought, but it's difficult, and the best thing to do is to start with 8 minutes, you know. Let me see the last thing. He says here on page 19, and that's very, very important. 19. Your mind. Let's see where it is. I think on the top. It is 17, 18. There must be 19 here in a moment. It's coming up, coming up. Oh, this is 18. This is, I think this is 19. It's about why should we be addicted to thinking? You know, that's what it is. That's very important. And we should be addicted to thinking because the moment that we believe that we will stop being who we are when we stop thinking. It's and that's and I think I personally I think I can say that I had that too one time in my life, and that's. And you see that in everyone. Oh yeah, why should we be addicted to thinking? Because you are identified with it, which means that you derive your sense of self from the content and activity of your mind. You know, it's a process of socialization, personally and culturally. And because you believe that you would cease to be if you stop thinking, and that's very important, you know. And then he explained that as you grow up, you form a mental image of who you are based on your personal and cultural conditioning. But that's very important. And when you can do that, then your thinking stops. And it's very rare, but more and more people seems to be able to do it. And Tolle says, we need that to survive as a society or as a world. And but even when that's not true, it's true, I think, that, as what Tolle said, that he said you can be happy when you do that and you have peace of mind. And that's very important too. And then he said that that's nothing to do with not being intelligent or whatsoever. On the contrary. So I hope you like that, and ask questions about it, and maybe we can do more about it, and go, for instance, on Skype and do things. Okay.